one day I realized this. I realized it was going on. I realized that this wasn't intimacy, it wasn't love, it wasn't even real desire. I was experiencing a form of addiction. It was another part, just addicted to trying to get soothed. And so I gave it up. I gave up nagging, like I gave up alcohol, like I gave up gambling, like I gave up sugar, porn. I gave up the addiction of pestering. I gave up the addiction of pressuring her. And in that space, something remarkable happened. Our connection started to grow. You ever lie in bed next to the person you love and feel completely invisible? Like your body's literally centimeters away, but it feels like your souls are miles apart. This week, it's Everybody Deserves a Massage Week. And that phrase on the surface sounds like pampering, doesn't it? But for many strivers, it touches upon something much deeper, because this isn't really about back rubs. It's about the aching loneliness that comes from a lack of touch, a lack of intimacy, a lack of being seen. Hello everybody, my name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic and I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same, like right now. There was a time not that long ago in the not too distant past where I found myself in a very toxic cycle indeed. I was full of resentment towards my wife, and I kept telling myself this story over and over and over again in my head that was getting me angrier and angrier and resenting her more and more and more. And it was this: if I don't ask for sex, we will never have it. She will never initiate it. So I have to keep pushing. And it's not fair. It feels like I'm begging, and she has like the safety box with all the goodness in it and the keys, and I can't get in there, you know? And that story that I had in my head that was going around for years and years and years, it was making me feel trapped. It was like I was in a prison of monogamy, starved for connection, and the only way to feel loved was through sex. So I became petulant. I became angry. I pouted and behaved like a child. And all that energy, the pressure, the resentment, the victimhood, it was pushing her further and further away from me because it was making the space between us feel unsafe. So she was feeling unsafe, feeling unseen, and my behavior was very unattractive. And then one day I realized this. I realized it was going on. I realized that this wasn't intimacy, it wasn't love, it wasn't even real desire. I was experiencing a form of addiction. It was another part, just addicted to trying to get soothed. And so I gave it up. I gave up nagging, like I gave up alcohol, like I gave up gambling, like I gave up sugar, porn. I gave up the addiction of pestering. I gave up the addiction of pressuring her. And in that space, something remarkable happened. Our connection started to grow. I'm going to take a short moment to have a break and a cup of tea and blow my troin. Troin is Welsh for nose, by the way. But before I do, let me leave you with something. Because I think you might have been there too, right? Like you might have been lying next to someone who loves you, but feels like a ghost. Or maybe you're single and haven't been touched in months. So here's something to reflect on while we pause. Is it sex you're really starving for? Or is it to be seen, felt, and safe? And what story are you telling yourself about your worth in that silence? Sit with that. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast, where today we've been talking about touch, intimacy, and the illusions we chase, because it is Get Yourself a Massage Week, right? And I have to say from the outset, I am actually married to an amazing world-class masseuse who runs a masseuse company. So I'm very, 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 very fortunate. When I stopped begging and begging and begging my wife for sex like a little boy and started listening to what my wife was telling me, not just with her words, but with her body and with her energy and with her silence, everything changed in our relationship. I began to see and be able to discern between when she was in her masculine energy, which was focused and driven, and when she was in her feminine energy, right? And when she was in her masculine energy, I realized that there was an opportunity for me to invite her into her softness, into her femininity. And if I wanted to do that, then I had to lead from my strength, my masculine, my powerful, beautiful, self-led masculine energy, right? To keep the polarity, me in masculine, Liza in feminine. But to do that, that meant no more sulking, no more little boy energy, no more pressure, just that calmness, that confidence, that presence, that super sexiness. And the more I anchored myself into self, the more I slowed down. And the more I showed up as a solid co parent, a grounded man, all of those things that come with being in self, the more she softened. And when she softened, touch returned, intimacy returned. Not because I demanded it, but because I stopped needing it. And the paradox, the less I needed sex to feel connected, the more connection we had between us and the more sex that followed. So if you're in a relationship and feel starved for touch, ask, where am I mirroring this disconnection? Where am I withholding what I am craving? Could I give my partner a massage without no agenda? Could I offer presence without any expectation? And for those of you out there who are single right now, and you're probably thinking, yeah, but I don't have anybody in this house to touch me, book yourself a massage. Go visit a hammam. Let someone touch you, hold you, nurture your body, pedicure, manicure, get your ears massaged. Go hug somebody. Go get a dog and give it a big cuddle and let them lick you all over because you deserve it. Not because you earned it, but because you are a beautifully, perfectly imperfect human being. Right, today's daily vow. Today, I will not drink because I deserve real connection, not the cheap illusion that alcohol offers. I will not drink because I deserve to be touched, seen, and held, and that begins with me. Remember that you matter, that you are not too much, and you're not broken for needing touch. But the path to real intimacy really does start from within. It starts when we give what we've been begging to receive. As you go about your day heading to your local massage centers today, please reflect on these questions. What part of you is craving intimacy right now? And how are you soothing it? How do you show up when you don't get the touch that you want? And what would happen if you led with love and not longing? If this episode opened up something for you, please, please, please rate and review the show. If you know somebody out there that needs some touch or is struggling with loneliness, send this episode to them and subscribe so you don't miss a single moment of it, okay? If you are feeling unseen, you are feeling unheard, and this episode did speak to you, but you've got no one to talk to about it, email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com. I reply to every single one of them to make you feel seen, heard, and like you matter because you really do, okay? Okay, you ready to take the sovereign vow with me today? Hand on your heart, hand on your belly. Touch yourself down this nurturance canal. Beautiful. Big deep breath. Repeat after me. I am a striver who is alcohol free as fuck. And I will not drink because that is not what I do. And that is not who I am. Until tomorrow, much love and strive on, everybody.